everyone, it's Kaifu here with Game 3 in the series between William and Franky, with William on the left side playing Reflect Refrain, while we have Franky on the right side playing Sylvia. Sylvia is a very aggressive J-Ruler based deck, but mostly towards the mid to late game, while we have William on the left side playing Reflect Refrain Fairies, usually to combo up and try to do as much damage in the early game, putting the opponent under pressure. So both players has one game in peace, so game 1 went well for William and game 2 went well for Franky. So this will be final determination who will be winning this battle. So let's see how everything goes so far. William did play a light fairy, which is the wind sprite, not wind sprite, the light sprite, which will allow to slowly gain life points. So what does that mean? It means that it forced Franky to hit a lot harder to deal more damage, because that extra 100 life point could be the difference between Franky winning and losing, because like, oh, I did so much damage but I just 100 life point away from winning, and that could be the reason why he lost, because that extra 100 life point, and besides it was for free as well. Franky did drop a Regalia and drop a Guinevere, which will allow him to draw more cards for Guinevere, and dropping a Regalia, which I didn't understand why. Maybe he's just using for the production of red by discarding another Leviathan, but I don't see the point if you're not using a power play. So very scary. Luckily William is not playing black, so pretty much there's no Spiral Despair and so on, forcing Franky to lose cards. But if he able to do that, it would be very scary. Here comes the Snow White. Snow White could burn 300 directly to the wind sprite, not wind sprite, the light sprite, but however in response gain 200 life points and attacking direct for 500, which put William down to 3,700 life points instead of 3,500, due to the fact that he gained 200 life before taking any damage. Hitting the fairy stone, which forced him to reveal a Fairy Resonant. If not, it comes intact. He does reveal the wind sprite, so meaning that he can use some more ramping, so getting him into a stronger position. But however, Franky is still in a strong position. However, his hand is quite low on ammo. What I mean by ammo, resources, because he had to discard a Leviathan to produce one red. Not only that, he had to put a Leviathan on the field, which does nothing at the moment, because his Sylvia already has swiftness, so it doesn't really matter in the long run. Here comes the cross Alice, which will force the opponent to lose a card on the field, targeting Snowball. But in response, Franky got sacrificed to draw 2 cards. So yeah, just simple removal spell, and obviously that if you remove the same, if you remove that Resonator or Resonate with the exact same stat, I don't believe it needs the exact same name, but exact same stats. Like for example, 7 attack, 7 defense, etc. higher, these are removed as well at the same time. So it's a very powerful spell. If you resolve it and your opponent has multiple, like for example multiple Camellia, you can remove all Camellia at the same time, so it's very strong. Just some ruling issue at the moment, so I'm going to just explain what's going on, saying that you target Resonate, so that's the target of the card. But however, in sacrifice, respond to a sacrificing the Snow White, meaning the target was invalid, so forcing the Alice Cross spell to be in a way invalid target, you can say. Now currently life point wise 3,700 compared to Franky's 4,000 life point. I do see a King Flame Shell. As you can see, King Flame Shell could be very key in this matchup, because King Flame Shell allows you to destroy, well, not destroy, can deal 400 AoE damage directly to your opponent's side field. And obviously, as you know, Fairy doesn't have a lot of defense or attack stats in general, so you can do a lot of damage to the board and killing a lot of cards. Not only that, dropping a free drop Resonator or lower onto the field and gain swiftness can do a lot of damage in the long run. Attacking directly with Snow White again, which puts William down to 3,200 compared to Franky's 4,000 life point. He does remove the wind sprite, so not allowing William to have any field presence, because again, the only way fairies can win, they need to rely on maintaining that field presence. If that field presence is gone, it's going to be very hard for William to establish field presence. Not only that, to push any large amount of damage. Here comes the Vivian. Vivian does boost 200 attack and defense until end of turn, so this means this Pumpkin Wish Ruling. So what I mean by the Pumpkin Witch ruling is that if you play Pumpkin Witch for this turn, any Resonator comes after it. After the Pumpkin Witch does gain swiftness and flying. So meaning the same ruling will apply to Vivian. So Vivian, as soon as she comes down, she automatic plus 200 attack and defense to all fairies. So meaning if she drops another fairy, if William drops another fairy, that fairy will gain the extra bonus from earlier. In comes King Flame Shout, doing a ton of damage, but in response, William does drop another another fairy, which does boost the attack stat and defense stat of Vivian by 200 attack, 200 defense, meaning it's out of range of King Flame Shout and Snow White's combination. In comes the Demon Flame, destroying the Vivian, not allowing the opponent to have any option, and attacking directly for 800 point of damage, I believe. So let's see now. Actually, he's gonna attack the Fire Sprite instead, so not allowing William to have any field presence. As you can see, field presence already belongs to Franky with Guinevere, Snow White, and Gwen, along with Leviathan. Compared to William's like empty field, he does have Reflect Refrain, which can filter his hand to make it a bit better, but without any field present and your life is already really kindish low. 2,700 is not low, but still it's very low against a aggressive deck such as Franky's Sylvia deck. And not only that, Franky has the option to Judgment next turn, so pretty much putting a lot of pressure on the board for the opponent. So William does choose the Judgment to put Reflect Refrain on the field, or should I say put Refrain on the field for easy control like bouncing cards and so on, but I'm not sure it will matter in the long run, because the fact that Reflect Refrain can only, what it can do at the moment, it can only bounce a Resonator back and doesn't really do much at the moment, because the fact that what can it do? Literally, what can you do with that? It's not much you can do. He does drop a lot of resin on the field, but he does decide to attack with it, with two of his Fire Sprite. If it was me, I wouldn't really attack with it, because for obviously for each fairy you have on the field, the Fire Sprite can do 100 point damage directly to a Resonator. So maybe you could save it and do some easy burn damage directly to Snow White if you can kill it. And not only that, you can put some extra defense as well. So you kind of like put anything on the field, they have to go through your Fire Sprite first and so on. In comes the Snow White, burning off 300 directly to the Fire Sprite, but I'm pretty sure William is going to tap in response to the effect to gain 300 life before the damage being dealt to the Sprite, to the Fire Sprite. So gaining extra life point, pushing Franky to do extra damage, and again taking 500 point damage, putting him down to 2,500 life point instead of 2,200 life point. In comes directly to the Fire Sprite, not allowing William to have any field present. To make matters worse, William only has 1 or 2 cards in hand from this thing. I think it's only 1 card compared to Franky's 2 cards in hand, and obviously field present like Fire Sprite, 2 Guinevere's, Gwen, and a Snow White, which will allow Franky putting himself in a stronger position. So it's going to be very tough for William to get out of this situation. So you're gonna pay 4 counters to search for a card and add to his hand. So obviously I don't know what card he added. So hopefully something to counter this whole entire field. The only thing I can think of is that you have to play what's it called? End of the World, I believe that's it called. End of the World does negative 700 attack, 700 defense to the whole entire field until end of turn. But he doesn't play black, so I don't know what he can search for in this situation. Let's see what can he do now. 4 Magic Stone at the moment he can play with compared to Franky's 3 Open Magic Stone, so he might have some random instant spell and so on. Dropping an Alpha on the field, so which will force Franky to attack it each time once that Alpha is being tapped by using his own ability or by blocking in general. Not only that, Pendragon Alpha is actually protected by darkness and fire spells and abilities, so meaning it's very strong matchup for against Sylvia, because obviously there's no abilities or spells can deal damage or destroy Pendragon Alpha. So putting Franky in a tough situation, forcing himself to sacrifice his Resonator to draw 2 new cards to put a better answer on the battlefield. so he's discounting the Gwen. So let's see, sacrificing another Gwen if you draw 2 more cards for more answers. Obviously that Pendragon being on the field at the right time can be problematic for Franky, because Franky has to do 2,800 damage on the board in order to do any single damage to the opponent. Not only that, William also has the addition as well, which can banish it, target a resident on the field, and can't be dealt damage this turn, so you're forcing your opponent to attack it. Not only that, you can just banish in response, so no damage can be dealt this turn. So what can you do? So putting Franky not in a strong position. So let's see what can he do in this situation. Most likely Erin will be forced to attack, but in comes the double bow, putting for extra defense on the field, but the extra defense wouldn't really help, because the fact that Pendragon is actually 12-12, so two bows won't really do much at the situation. So yeah, let's see what happens. Attack directly to Pendragon, but burning 300 off to the sprite first, the white sprite, obviously. But obviously in response, William goes to sacrifice his addition to give his Pendragon no damage dealt for this turn, so pretty much forcing himself to do something he doesn't really want to do. So in response to the sacking of the addition, he sacked his own Snow White to draw 2 new cards and discard 1. So which again, getting more better answers, allowing him to put himself in a stronger position. So he's got a Judgment. By Judgmenting, it will put himself in a strong position, meaning that by killing his own resident, he's able to recover as well at the same time. At the moment, I see Franky has a few cards in hand he can play with. It's going to swing for 12 damage because of the fact that he has a lot of stuff on the field for sacrifices. Not only that, he already tapped once for the Leviathan, and tapping once again, sacrificing his whole entire field. So he's actually going to push a lot of damage at this moment. So I think this is only opportunity to do some extra powerful damage. So let's see what can he do. He can swing for let's see, he pumped it 4 times, right? So he could be doing 18 damage on board, which will put him down to 600 life point compared to Franky's 3,600 life point. Obviously 3,000 point of difference, but however this is very close, because obviously with Pendragon on the field, Pendragon can actually run over Sylvia. Not only that, it will force Franky to give it impressionable, but however, giving impressionable and then he can't really do much, because even if he goes back to the rule form, he doesn't have a lot of way to put himself in a better position that he needs. Unless Franky has another resident in hand to put on the field and then Judgment and then kill it off and attack directly for game. He drew another Pendragon with Reflect Refrain's effect, I believe. Yep. So now he has most likely put 2 Pendragon. Yep, putting 2 Pendragon on the field, which can be problematic. So now swinging for 12 directly. I'm pretty sure to the Sylvia. If not directly to Sylvia, then I'm really confused. Attacking to the Sylvia, I'm pretty sure. Yep, attacking to Sylvia, sacrificing it, and obviously Sylvia will go back to this ruler form and still gain the ability Judgment this turn. So let's see now. I see Rapid Growth, so this could be a very powerful play for Franky. So what Franky has to do is that I'm pretty sure any stone you tap for is red, it can produce green instead. So you can tap it. It obviously will not disappear until end of the turn, right? So pretty much tap this 1 for green, paying 4 resource to Judgment, target itself, and then chain, or should I say chase, Rapid Growth from your hand and put it on your Sylvia, meaning it won't do the 1,000 point damage, so being out of range. So from there, you should win the game. So I'm pretty sure that's what Franky will do. He doesn't have to think much about it at the moment. He has 5 resources, so pretty much tap 1 for green, leave green open, and then Judgment, and then J activating to Sylvia's J rule form triggers. Obviously you can't target the Pendragon, you have to target itself, but in response to that target you can also pump 400. Oh wait, he actually tapped for a stone, which I'm very surprised, because the fact that Franky could have won right there right now, because I'm pretty sure with all the Guinevere you would draw into. I'm not sure if this card any rapid growth, but he should have a rapid growth in hand because I did saw it in his hand just then. Unless it's not at all. So yeah. So yeah, attacking for 12 directly and attacking for not 12 directly, putting Franky down to 2,400, then to 1,200. Not in a good situation, but again, Franky has to do the. Does he have Rapid Grip in hand? King Flame Shout. Yeah, he does have Rapid Grip in hand, so from here he would have won, but he actually scooped instead. So which gives the Williams the win. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Peace.